Hello, 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 Wes Griffith here, Collier RV, Rockford, Illinois, your family-operated superstore. Getting a little commercial here. Today we're going to be taking a look at the 2023 Leprechaun 298 KB. This is the second of the Leprechaun units that we have in the showroom, and this is another premier unit, which you can probably tell from the fancy front cap and stuff. So they will have some things in common, and both videos will be uploaded shortly, so you can take a look at both. These are my two favorite floor plans in the Leprechaun lineup, and for very good reason, as you guys will see. So we'll run through this real quick and give you some little quirks and some of the features and benefits of this unit. Like we always do, we'll start on the outside. This is on the Ford 450 Super Duty chassis. So like we've mentioned in the past, lots and lots of cargo carrying capacity. Not going to have a problem throwing all of your gear in there and rolling down the road. You also get straight from the factory Sumo helper springs in the front and super springs in the back, self-adjusting. So kind of set it and forget it. So again, just goes to that nice ride quality that you get from this unit. As we walk down the side, huge awning. Could not have put a bigger awning on this unit. Goes all the way front to back. Fantastic, love it. Huge windows. They're all gonna open. They're all tinted. So, not gonna get as much fading and that hot sunshine in the summer months when you're out there camping isn't going to affect you as much, which is cool. You've probably already noticed the giant sign that we have stuck on the side of this thing, because it is a very rare thing for Class Cs. This does have a king bed in it. It's a residential size king bed, which of course we'll take a look at, but that's neat. Have a king bed at home, and it would be hard to give it up, and now don't have to. You can take it with you. We'll go through and look in all the compartments like we always do. This is going to be where your propane fill is. Bring that thing right back to us, and we'll fill her up for you. That's gonna do all the hot stuff, right? So your furnace, hot water, stove, pretty much anything that gets hot. The vast majority of these RVs is gonna be handled by propane, and that's where you'd fill it up. This is your furnace output, which brings up another interesting point about this floor plan. So this and the 311 are the only two in the lineup that have dual furnaces, and I'll show you where the other one is in just a minute. So this does have two furnaces. We also ordered it with dual AC, so you have completely separate temperature control in your bedroom area from your main living area, which is cool. This is going to be nice big storage, and by the way, that's all metal, no plastic. In most of these storage bins. There is some Rotocast stuff in the back, which we'll take a look at. We'll just breeze past the door, although it does have the frosted glass window, which is nice. This little input here is for adding solar. You get the little suitcase solar panels. Stick them out here, just plug them right in, and away you go. Stay out there a little bit longer, although of course you do have dual batteries straight from the factory for your house, and I believe on this one it's a Cummins 4000 series generator, but we'll take a quick look. I'm almost positive it is. Outside entertainment, Furrion TV, and then a high quality sound bar below it, and of course you have Bluetooth input and all that fun stuff. So you can watch the game out here, and somebody could be watching something separate inside, or whatever you want to do with that. Certainly nice. This is going to be a propane quick connect, and it'll pull out several feet. So you don't, if you obviously, most people are going to be grilling and stuff when they're out camping. Don't have to bring those silly little propane canisters with you. That hooks right up to your big onboard tank. Outside power, and as we're getting to the end of this wall, I do want to mention that this is color infused fiberglass. So most fiberglasses, unless they're starch white, if you get a little scuff or scrape in them, it is white right underneath the surface. This is not. It's actually this color deep into the surface. It is color infused, so that's nice. You know, you get a couple of years down the road and you don't see all those little scrapes and scratches and stuff. By the way, this is all Azdale too. So this is not bonded to Luan, it is bonded to Azdale. So quieter, lighter, better insulation. But especially the quieter part is what I like. You know, you get 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and your neighbors at the campsite are being loud and you're trying to get to sleep because you're getting up at 6 a.m. to go fishing or whatever you might be doing the next day. And it is significantly quieter with the Azdale backing. So that's cool. Another big storage area, and this one is rotocast, so this is super thick, durable plastic. This does go all the way through, but we'll be able to see it better when we get to the other side. But you know, stick some folding chairs and stuff in there. All LED lights inside and out. This is the output for your other furnace. This is a rear bedroom, like pretty much all of these units. So this is the furnace that's for the bedroom area. This is your hot water heater, just a water heater, right? Because it's not going to heat hot water, it's already hot, so that would be redundant. That's your water heater. And actually I can open this for you guys. I don't know if I've ever opened one of these on camera before. They're fairly simple instruments, right? So you have a water tank in behind here. In this little tube right here is where the fire happens and heats up the tank that's just above it. This is your little gas valve, a little pressure outlet, and then a little brain to figure out, hey, the water's hot enough, we can turn off now and stuff like that. I don't know if any of you would find that interesting. I'm sure there's some RV nerd out there that would find that kind of interesting. Does come with hitching straight from the factory. So your standard 2-inch receiver hitch, and then your plug-ins. They all do pretty much nowadays. Below this nice deep bedroom slide, this is where we get into some interesting storage. So underneath there is the other side of that pass-through storage. And then there's nice deep wells in this side. And then you have even more storage next to it, which is all kind of interconnected. You can certainly bring a lot of stuff with you in this unit. Anything you could possibly need, although I'm sure I would figure out some way to fill everything. Below that is going to be your sewer outlet with your plunge valves. That's where you would dump your tanks. On the other side of this door, you have your standard gas cap, outside shower with hot and cold running water. And I'm quite certain that I pointed this out on the 311 floor plan also. But just another little thing that I love, because I am one of those RV nerds, right? So they put this little switch here and it's just a little light. That's all that switch does. But if it's late at night and you're trying to hook up and you just drove for 12 hours and you're irritated and it's drizzling, having a little light out here so you can actually see your hookups is pretty damn cool. And then you have your standard city water connection, so that bypasses your freshwater tank. You have a campsite that has water available. And then you have your tank fill. So this is going to fill up your onboard fresh tank, 48 gallons, I believe, on this model, which is pretty darn big for a Class C. But really, the only thing I care about in here is this little light, right? All of them you can fill up the tank, but that little light switch, that's just cool. Okay, enough of that. Cable satellite input. Most people are going to use that for satellite input, but you will occasionally come across a very fancy campground that will give you some free cable. That's where you'd hook it in. High quality detachable power cord. They kind of all have that. You don't really find too many anymore that don't have a detachable power cord, but nevertheless, this has one, so that's cool. By the way, these cords are super expensive nowadays, which kind of makes sense with the price of copper. I mean, that's probably 30 pounds of copper in that nice thick cord. Underneath here, you will have more storage. And then next to it, oh, let's see if we can get to it. Yep, this is the Cummins. So Cummins, Onan 4000 series, so it'll run everything in the coach. It's kind of the standard bearer in these size units. And then next to that will be even more storage. You'll have more storage out over here. And then we get to the door. You know, this unit's gonna have high quality, you know, these are metal arms, mirrors. They are heated and power, both the fish eye and the main mirror. And then I'll pull the door open like I usually do, just because you can't see it on the inside. Nice big pockets in the door. You have obviously power windows. The driver's side power window is auto one touch up and down, and then power door locks. Automatic headlights, right? So you just put it on auto, which is going to be turning that switch all the way to the right. And then you don't have to worry about it. When it gets dark enough, the headlights will automatically come on for you. Cool, like it. Don't want to have to think about stuff. I'm out traveling and having fun. Big steel steps to get in, so that's nice. And then of course it's a modern product, so you get a little key fob, you know, so you can lock and unlock it, and then there's a panic alarm and stuff. And then the rest of your keys for your storage. Chrome front on these Fords I think looks really nice. I mentioned at the very start of the video the front cap. This is a super nice front cap on these units. This is really thick poured fiberglass. And then you got the big automotive window in there, bring some extra light in. I call it the stargazer window because, you know, my kids, they climb up there and they can look out up at the sky and stuff. But let's go inside. So just inside the door, like all of these Leprechauns will, this is a steel entry. So this is all steel instead of plastic that a lot of them will have. And then just to show you, this does come with 2 batteries straight from the factory for the house. Majority of stuff out there will only come with 1. And I'm gonna hop in, and then we'll talk about the stuff right in the doorway. First of all, the coolest thing right in the doorway, because they're all gonna have some buttons and switches and stuff. But this little place to put your shoes, at least that's what I think it's for, right? You know, so you're coming in, it's muddy, dirty, maybe you went hiking, or maybe it's raining outside, or whatever the case may be. You can come right inside, sit in the stairwell, take off your shoes and throw them underneath there. And then you're not walking through here or trying to figure out a place to put your dirty shoes. Next to it, you'll have a heat outlet because they're not cutting holes in the floor to put heat out in this. So they hide them all off to the sides. Above that, you will have your auto gen start controls. So this does have auto gen start. And then below it, another really cool feature that you don't always find, this comes from the factory with the Bigfoot auto leveling system. So you press a button, the jacks come down, they level off the coach for you, and you don't have to worry about it. Again, love just pressing a button and forgetting about it. And I know this one has the little sticker, but a lot of times people just don't read stuff. So right on the floor there's like that little seat belt connector, or that's not really what it's for, but that's what it looks like. That's a child seat tether, right? So if you're bringing a child seat with you, they have that thing that goes over the back, and you're supposed to connect to something. That's what that's for. And then of course you have your standard buttons, right? So there'll be a couple of light buttons in here, your awning extend and retract, and then your 12-volt system disconnect right inside the door, which is the right place to put it. And then if you want to come inside, we'll talk about some of the normal things, and then of course I always throw in a couple things that I love, that I think are out of the ordinary. So You're gonna have the big, I think this one is 95 inches wide. This is a really big bed up here. And I'm sure I've mentioned it a couple times before, but you know, I just wanna re-emphasize how large this sleeping area is up here. So me at 6 feet tall, two of me could easily sleep up there and have a little bit of elbow room. You know, snoring's another story, but it is a very large space. And then of course these seats do turn around, as is plainly obvious. You guys know I love my little table that Coachmen puts in these things. I think all the manufacturers should have something like this. Rolling down the road or when you get to where you're going, it gives you some nice additional space, and I think it looks nice. And then of course this just lifts out as we've looked at before, and you can store it away wherever you want. And then you kind of have your standard cab. So cup holders galore, right? Couple here, another one over there. Some bins, both on top, on the sides, underneath. Your standard controls for HVAC, and then you'll have a 12-volt outlet, USB outlet, another USB outlet, USB-C outlet, and then another USB outlet. This specific USB outlet is for Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. So this doesn't, as a matter of fact, I can put this thing, I actually have the keys, imagine that. It's almost like I'm a professional. So she should turn on, the chameleon. So above that is my absolute favorite thing in any of these, the few that have it, is your rear view mirror has been replaced by your rear view camera screen, right? That's where you're used to looking when you're backing up. So I just think it's the greatest thing ever that they actually put that screen up there. And then you have your main audio screen, and this will tilt and turn either way, you know, whatever's comfortable for you. And of course, there you have your Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. It does have Bluetooth. You can put other media into it. And then you have your settings, and you can look at your cameras on this one too. And of course, it has a regular radio and stuff. But the other nice thing about this screen is, like, let's say you put on your turn signal. So if you put on your right turn signal, all these things are pretty much going to do the same thing. They're going to blink the screen out, and it's going to come up with your right side view camera, which is great, but then you can't see anything else. So what if you're traveling on GPS, you think this is the right turn, but you're not quite sure if it's this block or the next block that you're supposed to turn at? But you put on your blinker because you know you're gonna turn at one of the next two, and then your GPS goes blank, and then you're trying to figure out, well, wait a second, did it say 100 feet or did it say 300 feet to the turn? Well, and that's just one scenario. It's just a great idea to have a separate screen for your cameras from all of your other controls. So I love that. And then of course you have your, you know, all the Ford stuff. So this is gonna have tow haul mode, and intermittent wipers and cruise control and all of that fun stuff. You know, all the standard gauges and things. And I will point this out, I've probably pointed this out in the past, but it's just something that I think is weird. They give you a little change holder. I don't know anybody that actually uses a dash change holder anymore. Maybe somebody out there does, and they're gonna come in here later on today and be like, I'm buying this one for that damn change holder, but I don't know. I don't know about that one. And of course, the driver's seat turns around too, by the way, just in case anybody was wondering. And another question I got recently was, what the heck is this thing? So this is a net, and that's what these little, and they easily come off if you're not gonna use them. But that's what those are. When this is in, you clip it in, and it just keeps, especially little kiddos, from rolling out of bed and falling 5 feet to the floor, which would not be a good thing. So I think they call this the J sofa. Looks like an L. No, I think it's the J sofa. J sofa, so nice and long, definitely seat a bunch of people in here. They have the nicer table like they do in all these Leprechauns that I just love, right? So much thicker walled metal, huge lag bolts going straight into the floor. It's just a lot sturdier, and of course it comes out like they all do. This does make into a bed. And the other thing, I don't know if anybody noticed the big cushions that were up on top, but this actually pulls out on this side too, and that's what that cushion is for. So you can make this a U-shaped dinette, or you can turn it into a sleeping surface, so another bed. And then big storage above it on both sides of the TV. This happens to be a cover for the exterior side of the windshield, which is a little unusual. And then some covers for the interior, which is what these little Velcro things are for. You know, if you're wandering around here in your boxers or whatever at a campsite, you can actually cover this off at night so nobody can see you. Nice big Furrion TV. Above it, this comes straight from the factory with the Winegard gateway. So this is the thing that you would buy in most of these new units. And then it kind of looks like a light, but it doesn't have a light in it. You would pull off the little dome that's on the other side of this. Speak your words, Wes. And then this would plug into it. That's a Wi-Fi booster straight out of the gate. And then you can easily take this cover off and put a SIM card in there, and then you have 4G LTE rolling down the road wherever you go, which is pretty cool. Nice little sofa on the other side. These cup holders and armrests on either side do fold up and out of the way if you need a little more room, or if you need a place to put your White Claw or whatever your flavor may be. You can fold down the little cup holders. All these drawer fronts and cabinet fronts, by the way, are real hardwood. And this is real glass. I do love the backlighting. It can be turned off if you don't want it on. And then another big window behind it. Actually, this one is easy to pull down the shade. So nice blackout shades. This is metal, that is not plastic. The little pull down. They do make them sometimes out of plastic, that bottom bar, and then it tends to bow over time because there is tension on both sides. Plastic doesn't like that. So you'll find that after a few years, the ones that are made of plastic, they bow out a little bit, and then they don't want to go up and down anymore. But not the case here, so that's cool. Oversized GE refrigerator with a little bit of extra storage on the other side. This one comes with a free spare screw straight from the factory, so yay. And then they do it the right way. They do it the right way. They put a little arm on it so it holds it up for you. You don't have to prop your head underneath it. Kind of your standard 3-burner stove that just about everything has. They do use the cast grates in this one, which is nice. And then you have the nice glass cover if you need a little extra space. And I think it just looks nicer. And then your standard little oven, right? Actually, I can turn on a light in the oven. You can see how cavernous that is. You're basically putting a small cookie sheet in any of these ovens. And then, of course, there's also the little lights up here. I love those little round lights. And then underneath it, they kind of had a special drawer made from Magic Chef to look like the oven. And that's basically your pots and pans drawer. But that's a nice little touch, right? And then a stainless steel convection oven microwave. So you do get 2 ovens in this, which is cool. Corian countertops. Solid surface. I don't know if they're actually branded LG Corian or if they're made by some other manufacturer. Same stuff. It's solid surface countertops. Little pull-up power station, 2 regular outlets, 2 USB outlets. And then one of my favorite things is in here, pull-out drawers. Rather than just have a little space, and these pull out all the way. And like most of these nicer units, it has, you know, metal slides with ball bearings and stuff, and that's all fine and well. But a lot of them, the drawer will pull out halfway, or they don't have any drawers, which I think is kind of weird. The other thing I'll point out in here is you have this under cabinet lighting, which is kind of neat, I suppose, but at night, you can just leave that light on and it just puts like a little warm glow over the area on the floor. You know, so nobody's stubbing their toe or anything, but you don't have to have these big bright lights on. So huge stainless farmhouse sink. Sink is a pull-out style. It is made of metal, not that plastic stuff. Nice big cabinets up top, and they do give you a shelf in between, and they don't separate them in the middle. I hate when they do that. Why? Because you put something that's a little bit longer in here and you can't fit it in any darn cabinet. You guys know I love my magnets, right? So this don't have the little fingers that bend and break and stuff. It's just magnets. It holds them great, and it's going to work forever. Little bit of storage underneath the sink. Of course, you got to fit all the plumbing and stuff back there, so it's not quite as big as some people might think, but nice and tall, certainly big enough to put a little trash can underneath there, which is a pro tip. Anytime you're looking at an RV, figure out where you're going to put the trash can. That's one thing that a lot of them kind of leave out, and then people get out camping the first time and they're like, where the heck do we put our trash? And then they got bags hanging all over the place. It sucks. Little swing out here for some extra countertop space. The other thing that some people like about this unit in particular, and even this little swing out, is it really helps it feel like a small apartment on the road, right? Because it kind of separates your living space from your sleeping space. Bedroom, living room, kitchen. And that just kind of helps it, although obviously you can still get past it. But love that, easy to operate. Up on the wall over here, we're going to have your main control panel and a thermostat. This is that Wi-Fi button, right? Because this comes with the gateway straight from the factory, so that turns on your Wi-Fi booster. And then slides in and out, start your generator, prime your generator, water pump, water heater. This does have gas and electric on the water heater, and then it does come with tank heaters. So get out there a little bit earlier in the year, stay out a little bit later in the fall. Huge window, love it. Again, all these windows open, so get a lot of airflow through this unit. And then another little storage cabinet here. Fantastic amount of storage inside and out in this unit. So several shelves there. And then one of the other big tricks about this unit that sets it apart, once again, I think this is like the fourth or fifth time I've said that. So you have storage here, and it's got a couple of pull-out shelves in it, which I love. However, those shelves come out, and behind a panel, there are hookups for washer and dryer. So you can put a washer dryer combo in this unit. As a matter of fact, I'll give you guys another little tip. When you're walking through motorhomes, stuff with a steering wheel in it, typically Class A's, because almost all Class C's don't have this. If you see a door that has slats in it to allow airflow, there's probably washer dryer hookup in there, and they do that so that, you know, when your dryer's on, it can suck air from somewhere. So they have to use a slatted door. So a little tip there. By the way, on that side of the bed, so closest to the cab, you will have power of all sorts. So USB 12 volt, the 12 volt socket is typically in the bedroom area going to be for a 12 volt CPAP. I've gotten that question a couple times too. And then of course you have regular 110. You'll have 110 again and power and stuff over on this side. Some drawers underneath your giant closets. You will have 4 of them. One of them small, the other 3 are nice big drawers. And then a huge hanging closet with some shelf space up above, which is very nice, along with the huge mirror. And then we will open this door, and this is a half hinge door. They do this on fancy Montanas, famously or infamously, depending on how you look at it too. So this half hinge door kind of opens on the inside and the outside at the same time, so that they can fit a nice bathroom back here. And actually, I'll get back on this side and let you go in there because I've already seen it, spoiler. So sink, a little bit of storage underneath the sink, porcelain toilet, countertop space. Up above the little countertop, you have some more storage. Behind the toilet, huge storage area for a bathroom. Yeah, I mean, that's just crazy for a bathroom in a Class C. And then a nice little shower. I think it looks pretty nice. Those are glass doors, so it's not the cheap plastic stuff that sticks to your butt when you're trying to take a shower. And then, of course, behind us, a residential size king bed. Beautiful headboard. And by the way, I don't know if it comes out on camera. This is actually vinyl. It feels like leather, but really it's vinyl. And this is fabric. You know, sometimes people will be like, is that a sticker or what is that? That's actually like vinyl with padding behind it. Very, very nice. And then of course, you know, big storage up above, a couple little shelves for you to throw your cell phone or a little alarm clock or whatever the case may be. And then two more opening windows. And I keep emphasizing opening because a lot of times, especially like on the side of the slides or that huge window that we looked at just before we walked in here in the little hallway, they will make those so that they don't open, right? It's cheaper. Is really just, you know, don't tell the manufacturers I said that. But that's why they do it. And on the side of slides, they're infamous for putting non-opening windows. Max air fans, exhaust fans, so nice and quiet, very well made, and move a lot of air. I did mention I would point out where the furnace was on it. I don't know why anybody would care where it is on the inside, but there's this separate little furnace for the bedroom that I pointed out outside. You will also, this is marine grade vinyl flooring, right? So a little thicker, a little more durable, more resistant to scratches. And it actually has a texture to it. It is not smooth. Those like fake wood grain lines and stuff and colors in there, you know, all those ridges and stuff are not painted on. There's actual ridges in that vinyl, which makes it much more comfortable and more durable, and you don't slip and break a hip or something, which is probably what I would end up doing. So that is the 2023 Leprechaun 298 KB, and I think we designate this one F, so KBF for Ford. If you'd like to see this unit, learn more about it, or if you'd like to see any of our other units, including, oh gosh, more than a dozen Class Cs that I have sitting on the lot in stock right now, give us a call. My name's Wes. Bye.